what are some of the best ways to self-brand or self-promote?
So for me, the best way to self-brand or self-promote is obviously through social media. But I think that you can do so in different ways on every different platform. Like I use Facebook in a very different way from the way that I use Instagram or the way that I use Twitter. So I think the best way to build your brand is to be strategic about what you're posting online and how you use each platform that you're on.
Okay. Okay, so are there things to stay away from or avoid sharing on social media that's linked to your job search or self-promotion?
I wouldn't say there's anything that, like, you can use your best judgment of what is correct or incorrect to put online. I think the most important thing is to just think critically before you post anything, whether it's related to job search or not. If you're strategic about what you post, it's not going to reflect poorly on you.
Awesome. Okay, so writing articles, papers, reviews, is that a good way to promote yourself online?
Absolutely. LinkedIn is a really good place to share those things, whereas Facebook you might use for more your friends or family, or Instagram is just photos. But LinkedIn, share your knowledge there, share what you've learned, share your challenges, because that's what people want to hear.
Okay. Business cards, are they too outdated nowadays?
Absolutely not. In a networking setting, giving someone a physical takeaway is going to be a benefit to you and them. I would suggest writing how you met on the back of it so they have context for it, but it's a little bit easier than asking them to take out their phone and follow you on Instagram, and maybe a little bit more appropriate.
Okay, cool. That's a good tip. And is presentation really everything?
When it comes to your personal brand, it should be a combination of perception and reality. So presentation shouldn't just be what you want to be, or it should be where you're at right now with your goals. Like, show your growth. I think it's an awesome thing to be able to look at someone's timeline on Instagram or Facebook and see how they've grown over time. That's one of my favorite things.
Okay, neat. How much should you be promoting your accomplishments? So there's definitely, I've even personally had feelings of this, like I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, or I don't want to look like I'm showing off.
Yeah, I battle with this a lot when it comes to sharing things online. I want my family on Facebook to know about something great that I've done, but I don't want to come off like I'm bragging to other people. My automatic response is try not to care what other people think, but I think that's fairly unrealistic. So a different piece of advice I would give is think about social media when you're sharing your accomplishments or things that you've done in your career, things that you're proud of. Think of it as sharing something that you wouldn't necessarily get to explain in such detail on your resume. You don't put every single workshop or presentation that you go to or do on your resume, but you can put it on your social media.
Awesome. And as far as you're concerned, face-to-face interaction versus online interactions, are they more or less valued?
Face-to-face interactions versus online interactions, I think both have very different, like they're both valuable in very different ways. For myself, I get a little bit anxious in person, so I might be a little bit quieter versus online where I can sort of think about what I say or like carefully craft whatever message that I'm putting out. I miss a lot of opportunities in person because I sit there and think about what I want to say and then it's too far past. But in person, there's nuances that you wouldn't get to like understand online. And you get to see the reaction of the person that you're talking to. Are they bored or are they genuinely interested in what you're saying? You can't really get that online. So I think they're both valuable in very different ways.
Okay, cool. So because of the nature of your position here at UIT, can you give a brief explanation of how students coming into our office here can benefit from what you're doing in your position?
Yeah, absolutely. As the digital community coordinator in Student Life, I manage all of Student Life's social media, and I manage our brand new digital community, which is sort of a blog space, a website that is for students by students, where there's articles, quizzes, all sorts of engaging content. So interacting with me is interacting with one of those spaces. So if you're interested in sharing more of your story, we can absolutely make that happen on the digital community if you reach out to me. With that, I also do some personal branding workshops, and I work with social media on a regular basis, so I'm happy to answer any questions if you ever see me.
Awesome.